Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.
Good morning everyone. So 8th October, the Hindu newspaper. Let us see which are the important articles. First of all, we will glance through these articles. We will try to understand why it is in news, how it relates to our examination syllabus. Then we will discuss important articles in detail. On first page, again, let's say Supreme Court telling UP to file status report on Lakhimpur Kheri. So this is evolving news, not much relevant to our examination. Try to understand. Whenever it is related to, suppose Supreme Court is talking about farm bills, farm laws, they have been enacted. So they have been stayed by the Supreme Court. It is still, the matter is sub judice. So if Supreme Court is hearing that case, or suppose let's say related to protest, right to protest and all these things, then we will discuss that. Okay. So it is just investigation into the violence that happened. Now there is one article, Tanzanian novelist wins Nobel in literature. So we are going to understand and take input for prelims examination. Okay. So Nobel Prize in literature now. Earlier we talked about medicine or physiology, then physics and chemistry. And now literature, maybe in coming days there will be announcement of economy and peace prize. Okay, fine. Now yes, Supreme Court questions income limit for EWS quota, but now already the matter is sub judice regarding this 10% quota for EWS. Now in this particular, let's say, ruling, it is talking about why 8 lakh rupees per annum income limit is decided for EWS, on the basis of which data or something. Okay, so basically Supreme Court needs to hear the larger question. Okay, that is why this 10% additional quota is given on the basis of economic criteria only. Okay, so yes, we will have follow up on that, but now this is only talking about admissions to that medical exam, medical seats, okay, in the colleges. So that is not that much important. Now okay, on page number 5 you can see HAL delivers heaviest propellant tank to ISRO. Okay, so from space technology or science and technology perspective, you should be aware about what is going on. So yes, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited from time to time provides critical technology to ISRO, especially the propellant that are required. Okay, propellants are very important for satellite launch, right? And we are trying to improve our capacity in terms of GSLV launch. Okay, so when these launching vehicles, they require let's say advanced propellant technologies. So this is what the latest one for Mk3. Okay, so Mk3 launch vehicle is there. It is called as powerhouse for ISRO, and we can say that the GSLV launch is happening with the help of this Mk3 cryogenic engine is used, right? So we will talk about that, what is that particular technology. Then on page number 6, editorial, killing the chills. Okay, so it is talking about recently launched or approved, WHO approved anti-malarial vaccine. Okay, so significance of that development, it is being discussed from health perspective GS2 paper and GS3 paper science perspective. Okay. So yes, that one article is there, seeding a data revolution in Indian agriculture, but though it looks relevant, but in whatever written inside, it is not that much relevant to our examination. Okay, so it is talking about using data in agriculture sector. Okay, but substantial things are not written basically. There are 2 reports recently released regarding this, and they are discussing about that report. Okay, so in future the prospects are there. So already we can understand the data is being used in different sectors. Okay, so be it service sector, be it manufacturing sector, banking sector. Okay, so data is new oil, ये term आपने सुना होगा, right? So in agriculture sector also it can be used. This is what being argued. But in future, suppose substantial things are given in the article, we will discuss that. On page number 7, very important article related to stronger at the grassroots. Okay, bad banks we have already discussed. You should refer to the free video provided. Already we discussed in the Hindu newspaper, but on Lukman IS YouTube channel there is separate 10 to 15 minute article or video is there on bad bank, wherein I have explained basics about bad banks. So how it works, then benefits, pros and cons, or we can say limitations of bad bank, whether it is going to be effective measure by the government. Okay, so whatever the proposal of the government is there regarding bad bank, okay, National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited is going to be established. Okay, so how it is going to work, so everything is explained in short video, you should refer to that, okay, because this will be repetition. But good article, bottom article is there, stronger at the grassroots. Now this article specifically talks about role of PRIs in disaster management. Panchayati Raj institutions, third level of democracy, or we can say polity in India, 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, Panchayati Raj institutions, okay, like Gram Sabha or all these Panchayati Raj institutions are there at intermediate level, at district level, Jilla Parishad is there, right. So how they will be helpful in disaster management? The article talks about the recent experience during COVID-19 pandemic. So how PRIs helped in dealing with this pandemic at grassroots level. In future, what needs to be done to improve their capacity for further effective management of such kind of disasters at grassroots level. Now this can be asked in GS2 paper also and GS3 paper disaster management also. Also those who are having public administration optional subject, we are expecting this question. GS2 paper, paper 2 of public administration. Okay, so we will deal with this and take input. Now on page number 8, yes, Indian forces to carry out exercises with UK. Bottom side there is one article, and there are 3 different simultaneous exercises. One naval exercise going to happen, then there is ongoing military exercise or army exercise going on in Uttarakhand, Ajay Warrior, between India and UK, and there is cyber security virtual meeting happened between 2 forces. Okay, so we will talk about that. This is important for prelims examination, as well as we are going to take a follow for IR section, India-UK relations. You can mention how military exercises are happening between India and UK, and how UK is actually focusing on Indo-Pacific region in recent times, especially after Brexit. UK is having separate policy, foreign policy. Earlier, as a part of EU, it needed to follow EU foreign policy. Now it is having independent foreign policy, and it wants to play a major role in Indo-Pacific along with USA. Okay, yes. Then on page number 9, all political news are there. On page number 10, yes, India Nepal to conduct joint patrols for controlling trans-border crime. Now this is good thing. The meeting happened between, let's say, IG level of 2 armed forces, we can say. Basically we know that Sashastra Seema Bal is the paramilitary forces guarding our border with Nepal and Bhutan, right. So in this meeting it is decided that for let's say controlling trans-border crimes, be it trafficking, drug trafficking, human trafficking or arms smuggling, so to control that kind of smuggling or those crimes, there will be joint patrols. Now there is one article, or there is syllabus point in GS3 paper. What is that? Border management. It is there, border management. So it is part of border management. Paramilitary forces. There is one topic in syllabus, role of paramilitary forces in border management. It is there. right? So we will use this as a follow-up along the Nepal border, because we know that it is very open border, right? So there are always chances of such kind of crimes happening, and joint patrol is always effective. Okay, yes. And then, okay, so on international page, so fine, it is not that much important. And yes, as a follow up for, let's say, GDP estimates, World Bank retains India's, let's say, financial year 2022 GDP growth forecast at 8.3. So this was same in June month, and now after 3 months they have retained the same forecast. This is not important directly, UPSC will not ask, right, such kind of questions. Just you need to remember the annual forecasts of some important, let's say, you can use them in your mains answers or essay paper if it is related to economy part, that too economic growth, overall economic growth. Okay, so that is not that much important for prelims examination. Okay, so we will discuss these articles now one by one in detail. Yes, so first, killing the chills. Okay, this RTS, comma S, this is the vaccine for malaria. Recently WHO approved it, and its application is going to happen in some of the sub-Saharan African nations, which is the worst hit region for this malaria, we can say. So obviously we will try to understand the significance. Very good statement we find here written in that article. You should use this in your essay paper. Okay. The triumphs of science are best appreciated when they make human lives easier or safer or simply offer hope. Right? Very good article, very good statement you can use in your essay, or even whenever we talk about significance of any scientific discovery, technological development. So whenever it makes human lives easier or safer or creates some kind of hope to deal with such, let's say, pandemics or diseases. Now let us understand the significance of this antimalarial vaccine. So for that purpose we should know some facts. Article mentions some facts like WHO facts from 2019 year. It talks about around, let's say, 230 million people were infected with, or there was transmission of malaria to this amount of people. It also says that around half of the world population is vulnerable to malaria. Okay. And in that data, deaths you can see 4 lakh people died in 2009, and in that 4 lakh, 2/3 were children. So children are more vulnerable. In that 4 lakh, around 95% were from sub-Saharan countries, African countries. So it is disproportionate impact on children, disproportionate impact on these countries. In this manner, we should understand the significance. Okay, so such antimalarial vaccine will be useful for preventing the deaths of children, preventing deaths in these countries. So that's why we should understand the significance. In India also, we know that malaria has been one of the major epidemic, we can say, in some parts of the country. From time to time we hear the cases of malaria and dengue also, right? So but to some extent we have focused more on preventive measures, right? Preventive measures. So we try to let's say spread awareness. Our health agencies, authorities try to spread awareness regarding how to prevent malaria and dengue spread, right? So that's why to some extent we have reduced. At the same time, we should understand the growth of these parasites, the mosquitoes which are responsible for spread of this we can say malaria. Tropical countries, tropical nature of countries, or we can say sufficiently high temperature throughout the year and unhygienic conditions. They are responsible for growth of these parasites, right? Mosquitoes. So that's why we can say that these countries are more vulnerable, right? So yes, preventing death is very important aspect, and that's why we are now in future. What is important is maintaining the equity of access to these vaccines. As we know that African countries are poor countries, and we can say that the equitable access for these vaccines is required. Vaccine manufacturers, they will be in developed countries or developing countries, and they will be trying to maximize their profit, okay, and they will sell their vaccines to advanced countries or developing countries who are paying more. So that's why equity of access, especially we know that they are disproportionately affected, sub-Saharan countries, and they are poor countries. So making the vaccine available in affordable manner, so this is also important now. Along with that, the article says the authorities in these countries should also simultaneously follow routine malaria prevention activities that are already going on. That should be continued. We should not complacent. We should not be complacent regarding, oh, abhi vaccine aa gaya to koi problem nahi hai. Rather, the preventive measures, they are to be continued. And next step should be speedy and meticulous implementation, that is delivery of vaccine at ground level. Now the vaccine is approved, but its production and delivery, that should be now, and it should be expedited. Fine. So this is the significance we are talking here. Already we have discussed this yesterday for prelims examination. This can be added for mains examination now. Yes, stronger at grassroots. So we are talking about role of PRIs, Panchayati Raj institutions, in disaster management. This is very important from GS2 paper governance part, GS3 paper disaster management part. Let us understand first how PRIs helped in COVID-19 pandemic. So bottom up approach. We know that during the first wave of pandemic, there were all direct regulations from central government. Okay, so Home Ministry, Health Ministry, they were continuously notifying new rules, they were changing new rules, and there was no, let's say, bottom up approach, rather top down approach was there. So there is need of bottom up approach from understanding of how PRIs helped during the COVID-19 pandemic. Let us understand that part first. Okay, so how they helped? First thing you should understand, the PRIs, they provided much needed leadership at ground level. They not only, we can say, created or functioned regulatory functions as well as welfare functions. Which are these? So they identified, we can say, quarantine zones, created the buildings. Okay, so what used to happen in villages, the school buildings or primary health care centers, they were identified as quarantine zones by the PRIs, Gram Sabhas. Then they provided food to inbound migrants in the villages. They provided transport facilities to them. Okay, because they were the members of villages, right? Migrants, they were coming back to their homes. So it was responsibility of PRIs. So they effectively dealt with this. Then we can say that with the help of Anganwadi workers and Asha workers, they helped to bridge, let's say, the trust gap between health authorities and people. There has been some kind of, let's say, misinformation going on since this pandemic started, right? So with the help of Asha workers and Anganwadi workers, this trust gap reduced, and this has also helped in mobilization of people for taking vaccines at village level. They convinced people Okay, so to take the vaccines in the villages. So this is how they helped in, we can say, dealing with this pandemic. Now after understanding this, we should be aware that Yokohama strategy during international decade of natural disaster reduction 1994. Where do you find this statement or Yokohama let's say strategy? This is mentioned in one of the NCRT, Geography NCRT. There is this one box there, 11th standard NCRT, India Physical. India Physical Environment. 7th chapter related to disasters. Foundation batch, we learned about this recently, that NCRT I told you to read this particular chapter. In that chapter there is this box, and then there is it is talking about this Yokohama strategy. Today itself you should refer to that part. Okay, so this particular strategy talks about there is simultaneous requirement of emphasis on prevention or disaster prevention, preparedness and mitigation, rather than only focusing on let's say rescue rehabilitation, that is post disaster. It is talking about focus should be on also on pre-disaster management. Okay, so basically when we strengthen the capacity of these PRIs, there will be more appropriate disaster preparedness in advance. How we can improve the capacity, what is required. So we require to include disaster management chapters in Panchayati Raj Acts and make disaster planning and spending part of Panchayati Raj development plans. So this should be part of, let's say, already it is part of Constitution through 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, Panchayati Raj institutions, right. So this disaster management chapter should be added in that provision, constitutional provision. Along with that, it is saying that disaster planning and spending of resources should be part of Panchayati Raj development plans. So there is district, we can say district development plan or district planning committee is there, DPC, for this Panchayati Raj institutions planning. Okay, it creates plan for particular district, all district. So it should include disaster planning and spending as a part of these development plans. Then conducting regular location specific training program for community and organizing platforms for sharing best practices. So training should be given, right? Obviously they are naive people, they do not know about technicalities of disaster, right? So there should be some kind of training, especially location specific. We know that coastal areas of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh, they require more training on cyclone disaster management. Or if we are talking about Himalayan region, they should be provided with landslides and all that kind of, let's say, disaster, earthquake related or landslide related. So in this manner there should be, if suppose it is flood prone area, then for that purpose also training should be given. So location specific and disaster specific training should be given. Along with that, community based disaster management plan should be given. So this is talking about bottom up approach. See, community based disaster management plans. Now we know that community knows more than the officials who are sitting in Delhi, civil servants, because community is facing those disasters from long time, right? So they know more about that, the nature of disaster, right? So their views should be added in that plan. Rather, the plan should be, we can say that based on the views of those community, the community should be active part of that planning. Then financial contributions from community through establishment of community disaster funds in all gram panchayats. Okay, so at present it is only at district level. Okay, our NDMA Act is there, 2005. it talks about such voluntary contributions at district level. But there should be some kind of funds at Gram Panchayat level where community contributions can be given, voluntary. So obviously that will mobilize the resources at grassroots level. उनको ज़्यादा resources की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है. Try to understand, at grassroots level very less resources are required and they can mobilize themselves, these resources, because these disasters are impacting on their resources. They can understand that. Okay, they can be convinced also. So in this manner we should talk how the capacity of these PRIs should be improved, especially those who are having public administration optional subject. Bottom up planning is very important part of syllabus. Okay, so we can expect such question. You can give reference to bottom up planning, like role of PRIs in disaster management. Okay, any question?
Most of the funds are coming up to district level, sir. But the district officer having they have very busy functioning candidates, sir. Then how we can able to manage continuously, sir? When the political side and higher level authorities will say only whatever the situation will come before the disaster, they will take only that time only. Remaining period they will allocate the different functions to the DM. Then how we can able to achieve continuous maintenance of the disaster management?
See, disaster preparedness we are focusing on. Actually, our approach is largely post-disaster. That is the problem. Try to understand. Whatever the planning that we have or whatever the resources that we have, na, NDRF or whatever the funds that we have, they largely are allocated. Oh, disaster हो गया, अभी funds दो. यही है actually largely focus, rather than the focus should be on preparedness. So training should be there, capacity building should be there. Then we can say that the post disaster resources that are required, na, it will be reduced, because the impact will be less. There will be mitigation. Okay, so focus, especially from top level planning to state level and even district level, focus should be on preparedness. That's why if you visit NDMA website na, you will see that they always focus on preparedness. Disaster risk reduction, there is one term that relates to disaster risk reduction. And this particular plan by NDMA, 2019 plan, disaster risk reduction, it is what talking about regarding all disasters. If you refer to that document, PDF, so for all types of disaster, it is talking about how we can reduce the risk. So obviously that requires pre-disaster management, right? All these things. So it should be the way forward always. Okay. Yes. Moving on, there is one news talking about India, Nepal to conduct joint patrols for controlling trans-border crime. Okay, so yes, there has been annual coordination meeting, 5th annual coordination meeting between Director General of Sashastra Seema Bal and Inspector General of Armed Forces, Nepal. Border guarding forces of India and Nepal will conduct regular joint patrolling along the border to control trans-border crimes like smuggling of arms, human trafficking and other areas of concern. So this is good thing. We have open border with Nepal and it requires continuous vigilance, we can say. We have seen in the past how this drug trafficking smuggling happens through Nepal route. Okay, so first it comes in Nepal, be it from China, Pakistan or other countries, and then into India because of open border. So that's why it is important. Again, for prelims examination and mains GS3 paper, security part is there, role of paramilitary forces along the border. So SSB is there for guarding border with which countries? Nepal and Bhutan. Then we have Assam Rifles with Myanmar. Then we have BSF with Pakistan and Bangladesh. Yes. Then we have ITBF. Yes, with China. This can be asked in prelims. Those preparing for CAPF examination. So, some of the students give CAPF prelims also simultaneously. Central Armed Police Forces conducted by UPSC only. Okay, so they focus on such kind of security related questions. Okay, fine. We are going to learn about them in detail about when we learn internal security. Foundation batch, there will be separate module for internal security. Okay. Indian forces to carry out exercise with UK. So simultaneously 3 such exercises, or we will say that meetings are happening of armed forces between UK and India. First one is that there will be yes, first of all there will be naval exercise with UK's Queen Elizabeth Carrier Strike Group later this month as it heads back home after its maiden operational deployment in Indian Ocean. Remember, this is called as PASEX, passing exercise. Passing exercise. So India carries this kind of exercise with, let's say, US naval carrier groups, also UK carrier groups. When they come to Indian Ocean region and they pass through Strait of Malacca, they go to South China Sea, East China Sea, Pacific Ocean, and they go back from the same route. So when this particular ship was going from Indian Ocean region in July, there was again PASEX, and now it is returning back, there is again PASEX, passing exercise. So in July, so there was India-UK 2-day bilateral passing exercise with Royal Navy Carrier Strike Group led by HMS Queen Elizabeth, same, okay. So in Bay of Bengal, as the carrier was passing through. So that's why passing through, it is going on, passing from that region. It is not entering into Indian, let's say, territory or having bilateral exercise. Rather, it is passing, and Indian, let's say, naval forces, they are having some kind of interaction there. Okay, so this is called as passing exercise, PASEX. Okay, so in another development, second meeting of India-UK joint working group on cyber capacity building. This was held virtually. Okay, and then there is 6th edition of India-UK joint company level military training exercise named Ajay Warrior. This has commenced in Chowbatiya, Uttarakhand. This is important for prelims. Ajay Warrior. There is again the bilateral naval exercise called as Konkan between India and UK. Bilateral naval exercise Konkan. Konkan Maharashtra ka region hai, right? Yes, coastal area of Maharashtra. Konkan. Then there is Air Force exercise between India and UK, that is named as Indradhanush. Exercise Indradhanush. So you should remember all 3 armed forces bilateral, multilateral exercises with different countries, especially in news in last 1 year at least. Okay. Yes. Also, India and UK are also in talks for bilateral logistics support agreement. Similar kind of logistics support agreement with US we have signed, LEMOA. So we are also in talks with UK. See, the defense cooperation is increasing. You should be aware about that. Okay. Now, HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, delivers heaviest propellant tank to ISRO. Okay, so it is sub-cryogenic propellant tank SC-120LOX, ever fabricated by HAL, has been delivered to ISRO. This is semi-cryo liquid oxygen, okay, liquid oxygen LOX tank, first development welded hardware, is a part of SC-120 stage intended for payload enhancement by replacing L110 stage in existing Mk3 launch vehicle. So basically it will help in further carrying more and more payload in those launch vehicles. Okay, yes. So already HAL has delivered critical structures, tankages, satellite structure for PSLV and GSLV Mach 2, Mach 3 also. Okay, so there is collaboration between HAL and ISRO. Not that much important, UPSC will not ask in prelims also such trivial kind of technology. Very important and very in news, when it is in news, so substantially changing some kind of, let's say, space technology, then we can say that it is important. Okay. What is cryogenic? Cryogenic technology UPSC asked earlier. Cryogenic technology wherein the fuel is stored in sub-zero temperatures. Okay, sub-zero temperatures, or we will say that more and more fuel can be stored in less volume or less space. This is what the significance of cryogenic technology. Cryo means sub-zero, or we will say that where it gets solidified. Okay, so we will say that it is sub-zero. In general, we talk about that cryogenics or cryosphere. When we say cryosphere, there was one question in geography. Do you remember that GS1 paper, mains examination? Significance of cryosphere in global warming or hydrological cycle, such kind of question was there. Cryosphere is when the water is in solid form on the earth's surface. That part is cryosphere. Where it is in solid part? Polar region and mountain ice caps, glaciers. So that is also part of, and permafrost. Permafrost. Do you know permafrost? Solidified, let's say, earth or soil moisture, we can say that, especially in Siberian region. So there is thawing and frosting of that, let's say, land or soil in that part. There is expansion, contraction going on there. Permafrost. Okay, so that is also part of, we can say, cryosphere. Okay, so that is not completely part of polar region, subpolar region. There we have permafrost. Okay, so underneath land there is permafrost, we can say that. Yes. Tanzania novelist wins Nobel. So name is Abdul Razak Gurnah. So he has written, he is from Tanzania, a small country in Africa. Okay, so especially Eastern Africa. He has written the novels which talks about the, let's say, colonial rule, exploitative colonial rule and impact on the people, especially how it has resulted into large scale refugee crisis. Okay, so yes, uncompromising and compassionate penetration of effects of colonialism and fate of the refugees. Some of the good novels like Paradise and Desertion. So this Paradise novel was also shortlisted for Booker Prize. Okay, so remember about this. These facts are not important. He is, let's say, first African writer to win award since Zimbabwean Doris Lessing in 2007. Also only second writer of color from sub-Saharan Africa after Nigeria's Wolsiunka, who won in 1986. Okay, so that is not important. UPSC will not ask first, second, third, such kind of things. Already we will say that this is miscellaneous part. Literature they will not ask. Okay, science it is related, so they will ask. Okay, so on the basis of this information, what should be answer to this question? Yes. Yes, exercise Indradhanush. I want you to, simply solve this question with the help of available information. Ajay Warrior, just now we learned that it is going on. Okay, forget about other information that I provided. Ajay Warrior, Armed Forces. Just now it is going on, current affairs. On the basis of this information, how should we solve this correctly? Some knowledge, some logic. Okay, that is fine. Now we know that warrior is, let's say, related to army, so it is incorrect. Yes, you tell me. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Okay, second is eliminated, so that's why. Okay, what is between 1 and 3 now? Why obviously? Konkan is coastal area basically. What should be aware about that? If you are not aware, can you use other logic? इंद्रधनुष कहाँ पे होगा? हवा पे होगा ना, धनुष हवा में होगा ना. It will be air. So mythological names are given, right? So that's why, these names are given with some logic, na? So use that logic, right? So that's why in prelims examination you will not be knowing all questions and all information. Try to understand. Only you will know 50% of the information. You need to solve and mark the correct answers on the basis of available information and use your logic also. Okay, so elimination method is the most important method that aspirant should use in prelims. Okay, and remaining two, then you should use logic also, because this is factual information. If student is not using logic, then oh, I don't know about this, दूसरा क्वेश्चन देखेगा वो. बट एक सही स्टूडेंट जो होता है वो दैट विल यूज लॉजिक ऑल्सो, दैट स्टूडेंट विल टेक द अप्रोप्रिएट रिस्क ऑल्सो. This is risk also, na? We do not know exact information, right? So taking appropriate risk, medium term risk, we will say that, is also important in attempting this question. So that's why the answer is 1 only in this part. Okay? Yes. Any question? Fine? Okay then. So let us stop. We will meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you.
Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.